You are watching the #1 podcast in the whole entire YouTube wrestling community, and I'm one of your hosts, Juan.
And I'm your other host, Jean-Paul Leek.
And together we are...
Rope Break.
Family. 3 minutes after Dynamite was off the air, and today we're preparing a big surprise for you guys. So for the ones that saw something on Facebook, we're getting it ready. That's for Saturday. It's going to be Fyre Fest. It's not Fyre Fest. No, relax. It's going to be legit. So, Jean-Paul, we're going to be talking about Dynamite. So, thank you so very much to every single one of you for all the love and support that we've been getting recently. Jean-Paul was at the Symbiote Collectibles, legit store. So, looking for, wrestling figures, all the stuff that, they have over there. Great video. Don't forget to watch it. Monday Night Raw review. Championship Raw. We got that, from yesterday uploaded. Thank you for the support on that. Thank you to every single one of you that was actually watching every single one of the videos. All the love from these two guys right here. Jean-Paul, tell me a little bit about Dynamite. The last stop before a 2-night event that is going to take the next 2 Wednesdays.
It was
Fyre Fest.
Everything that they did, I'm watching it, and it's it just seemed predictable. To jump ahead when I'm watching the Matt Hardy match, as soon as it ended, I'm he's going to eat the finisher from Pride and Powerful. He ate the street sweeper. And then I'm they're going to beat him down, and Private Party's going to come out to make the save. Private Party comes out, makes the save, and it's, but we're going to be real wrestling. We're not going to be predictable. We're not going to be bullshit like WWE, and I don't know. I'm wearing glasses, so maybe I'm not seeing it correctly, but it smells like the same thing. So
yeah, well, there you go. So, we're going to be talking about all of that, Jean-Paul. So, let's start it with, Lumberjack match. Wardlow against Luchasaurus. That's how open Dynamite. Jean-Paul always says, Dynamite always needs a big opening. I think the match did a little bit of that concept. I think that kind of big spots, like you said, a lot of guys waiting for the other one to dive. So that's why.
Yeah, if you wanted to start out, to put the best match on first, if that's how you want it to be, because we didn't get a match in the main event. The main event was a promo, I guess you could call it, whatever you want to call that, but a face-off. But I would have put the tag team match with FTR and SCU in the opening match if you wanted to start off hot, because this match wasn't bad, but usually to me lumberjack matches have always been bullshit. I can't think of a good one. It's one of the stupidest gimmicks in wrestling, in my opinion. But all the lumberjacks out there, that was you had 2 seniors in high school fighting, and the lumberjacks were freshmen. The lumberjacks were getting thrown around like they were losers, so it was there was no point to even have the lumberjacks. Yeah,
well, they have to keep doing this thing, because now at Fyre Fest, it's confirmed it's going to be Luchasaurus and Jungle Boy against Wardlow and MJF. So, they needed this match to set up, to make it, for the next stop for these 4 guys. And, of course, MJF, I don't think they want to put him in the title picture yet, because, of course, if he's on a title picture, what is going to happen? He's going to have to win it. He's one of the guys who they actually built up legit, so he's going to have to win it. And they're not going to, Cody's on his, his run of glory, and, they're not ready to take it off Jon Moxley yet. At least, so it's, to wait a little bit, exactly.
But the match itself, these 2 big guys, they can go at it. They, good moves and a couple spots where it's we got to set up for a dive, so please wait for me to climb the turnbuckle. Just stand there looking like a jackass as it takes me 10 seconds to climb. Just, don't run out of the way. Just stand there and watch. But that's every AEW Dynamite show, pretty much every match. So besides that, the 2 big guys went at it, and it was
low blow,
it was all right.
And then Wardlow hit Luchasaurus with the F10. It's the F5 plus another F5, so that makes it F10. He gets the win, but then that was kind of the beginning of this whole blowout, and then of course everybody else jumped in. Marcus Stan, then Jungle Boy, and everybody else. Just making a big brawl.
Mm-hmm.
So that's how Dynamite pretty much open, but then we actually get the press conference with Cody and Jake Hager. They took this they tried to make it a little serious, but it didn't come out as serious for me, because it was just right there, it was. I
want to get your opinion on this. I would WWE, the way that they present something is the way that they intend it to be presented. They're if we want to present the MVP lounge as kind of jokey, kind of bullshit, that's how they're going to present it. They're not they won't come out and be we're serious and we're 100% legit, but then give you bullshit. AEW is like, oh, we're going to be serious. We're going to do all this stuff. It's going to be all legit. This is real wrestling. And then we get stuff like this. And it's like, you know, who is this for? Who is this exciting? We see Cody and his fan club all sitting there. But then nobody for Jake Hager. Nothing like, you know, where was the inner circle should have been there.
Yeah. Yeah.
It was like nothing, you know, eventually then him and his wife showed up. But to me, like I said, it's all just like Cody. That's how I see this.
I love the theme song. That's all I can say.
Because I'm like, you know, this is no offense. It's the mid-card title. And then the world championship title is, they're just like, so you have a match because he won a poker chip. You know what I'm like? But then this has the whole UFC stare down and every. I mean, yeah, Hager's in UFC, so I'm sure that's what people's excuse will be. But it's like, you know, shouldn't the main event scene be like given a press conference and all that and made like super legit, you know, before as well?
I agree. I agree to an extent. I think that, like, yeah, it's. I guess they try to make it, like you said, like more serious. Does it come out like that? I don't really think so. Just because, for example, PW Insider, like, okay, somebody from PW Insider is going to be there to ask a question. I'm like, no, it's not going to happen like that. And I didn't like the part that, like, Hager's, like, wife, like, threw the water at Cody. I'm like, we don't even see that in, like, the UFC fights.
Oh, no. It should have been, like, Hager and his legit UFC trainer, and it should have been Cody and Arn. It should have been it.
Yeah,
Should have been no Brandy. No, you didn't need the whole fucking family. You know, I'm like, come on.
Yeah, so, but like you said, like, well, the one thing, of course, Cody's the owner. So maybe you're like the owner, or like you're the vice president, or you're the guy that started the idea. Of course, you're gonna like book yourself to look at least a little bit better than the regular ones.
Yeah.
You know, should I hate on that?
They have a 5-year life, and 1 year's already gone.
Yeah, no. So like, should I hate on that? Not. I don't think that I should that much. Just because if I will be the owner, I will kind of do a little bit like that. I will do hints of that. Not a lot, but like I will do a little bit of hints like that. But that's what it was. We got a press conference. Jake Hager showed up later, and then pretty much they had a stare down. I think Hager was grabbing Cody or something. They're like, okay, don't worry. And then the water. Nothing really of importance out of that. Just they're going to have the match at Fyre Fest, and that's going to be on night 1. So, Jean-Paul, we're going to talk about Hikaru Shida going against Red Velvet. Red Velvet is actually from Florida, and she's going to be facing Lexi Gomez. So shout out to Lexi and Red Velvet. This match was even sold that fast, Jean-Paul, that I didn't see it. Falcon Arrow and done.
Yeah, you know, it was like, oh, you go to text Lexi and be like, hey, isn't this your opponent? You know, and then it's like, by the time you send the text, you're like, oh, done. And it's like,
yeah, it was done because why? They're trying to actually hype the match between Hikaru Shida and Penelope Ford. That's also going to be held in 9/1. Fyre Fest, and I, of course, keep saving.
Yeah, I think they can. And to talk about Fyre Fest for a second, I think they completely screwed up the card. You loaded up night 1 and then night 2.
Then, yeah, like especially like for me, like I thought the same way though. I'm like, if you have 4 titles, you should do 2 and 2.
Yeah, because it's completely loaded up.
For example, like
1.
the girls and like Hikaru Shida and Moxley should be night 2, and then the tag team and Cody should be night 1.
Yeah.
Because
I agree 100%.
The importance of the title, you know. But for example, like the women's should be the equivalent of the guys, so it should be in the same, you know, night and everything. But you're right, I agree with you. So this was pretty much a segment, very quick. It's just to like hype that match. But I agree with you.
But you know what the problem is? The problem is AEW's management and booking thinks that Orange Cassidy and Chris Jericho is like the second coming of Shawn Michaels and The Undertaker. So they're like, that'll carry night 2.
I guess. You know, I agree with you though. When I was watching how they booked it, I did not like that. Just based on like it should be 2 titles each night. That way everybody's kind of looking for it, and also like you keep it like even in your own company. But they didn't do that. So there you go. So Jean-Paul, we get a little bit of a small promo of like Sonny Kiss and Joey Janela. He went to like Wawa or like 7-Eleven or like
exactly. Yeah, they were at the Wawa. Yeah.
And I guess Joey Janela was buying some Lunchables. So that was
he was getting the hot dogs with the relish.
You know, we wanted to relish. Like, hopefully, like it didn't like jack him up because it doesn't to me. It does jack me up, but like for $1 a sheet. So of course I'll do that. It's 106, you know, with the tax. There you go.
That's legit.
Yeah. So like, and then they had like a cinematic kind of promo because Sonny was like beating some people, and then Janela kind of like.
Yeah, I didn't even get it. What was the point? Were they trying to steal the car?
I don't know.
Like, I was just like, I don't even. I'm like, Janela, like, pick me up a Monster and like, you know, a pack of cookies. I'm like, but what the hell? And then I'm like, oh, is there Sonny Kiss is beating up some like these guys? I'm like, what? You know, I mean, I'm not gonna be like, oh, this was awful, but I'm like, I don't understand why these people were fighting him.
Well, and also like the thing is like again, they said they're looking really good on AEW Dark, but unfortunately, we don't watch AEW.
Yeah,
Dark.
again, that's like, yeah, you know what I mean. That's like saying
idea.
that's like when we are like, where is Ricochet? Oh, he's on main event. Who watches that? Nobody.
Yeah, that's what I mean. Same thing. It's like we will keep loving. Like AEW Dark should be at 7:00, and then 8:00 Dynamite all the way till 10. That's the way I have my own fixation. I'm good of Dynamite, but they don't do that. So like that's why I wonder. Some 9 times out of 10 is like, oh, why are they saying they're good? Oh, because I don't see any AEW Dark. I don't watch that. So, John Paul, they had a match against Colt Cabana and Brody Lee. Colt Cabana kind of like hinting that he's going to join the Dark Order. It was the first try. Hey, let's test it. Like you and me were testing, like, the rope break, like signal, the bad signal for what's going to happen on Saturday. Hey, let's test this situation.
Yeah, and but see, at least you and I aren't bullshit, and we're like, no, we're a team, whatever. We're a duo, like you said, Batman and Robin. It's like, yes. But with them, it's like, oh, no, this doesn't mean Colt Cabana is part of the Dark Order. He could just, anybody would want to team up with Brody Lee. Really? Anybody would want to team up with Brody Lee?
Well, Eric Rowan would want to do that, but I don't know if, like, everybody else. But see, like, the match wasn't bad, though. Don't you think?
No, the match wasn't bad. Sonny Kiss is a good wrestler. Joey Janela, I mean, you either like him or you don't like him. He's all right. I think he has to be in the right match with the right person to really shine. Otherwise, he's kind of just like, eh. Yeah, but Brody Lee's not bad. Colt Cabana's not bad. Like you said, it wasn't a bad match. But
no, not at all. And then see, like you said, for example, Sonny Kiss had a really good showing because, like, I think that like it's one of the first matches that he's had on Dynamite, and also the fact that he was able to have the whole match. And then she did like a 450, or like he did like an insecurity. Like there was a lot of good moments. Like
extremely athletic.
Yeah. Then extreme, and I really like the fact that he kind of kept Brody Lee coming in and interfere and do stuff like that. Although the Dark Order, like a few members of the Dark Order, they were right there, kind of screwing the match. And in the end, of course, like Sonny Kiss was taken out, and then Brody Lee did the discus lariat onto Joey Janela, and 1, 2, 3 for the pin. But then something really kind of weird happened because Lance Archer starts attacking Sonny Kiss, and then Joey Janela. So
it's all like I mean, again, I'm not trying to be critical because I do like, or I did like certain aspects of it, but to me, it all just reminds me of like WWE Attitude Era, where it's like every match ends in somebody is either getting their ass kicked, after the match, or it's a DQ, or it's like a big brawl or something. And it's like, this was just to set up a match at Fyre Fest. That's all this was.
Yeah.
And I'm like, yeah. And it's like, okay, and the only reason you're doing this match is one, you build some momentum for Joey Janela. You put him against Lance Archer. He's going to lose to Lance Archer. And the only reason you're doing this is because you fucked up Lance Archer's debut by having him lose the belt or lose in the championship match to Cody.
Well, that's my
so
only
it's like,
thing that I can tell you.
We gotta build him back.
Why do you go from Cody to like Joey Janela? Like, so like you need a snake for Joey Janela, and I'm no disrespect to Joey Janela, he's cool and everything, but like I'm saying in like hierarchy, Joey Janela still needs a few wins to make me believe that like he can be out there in a main event position.
That's what I mean. Like if I was booking it, I would just have him beat everybody who Cody beat. Like, Cody beat, Mark
Ricky
Quinn
Starks.
or whoever.
Okay, boom, Ricky Starks out.
Yeah.
He beat like the guy Quinn from Private Party. Boom.
Yeah, that's what I mean. I would just have Lance Archer just go and beat the same people Cody did, have him beat him more convincing, faster, and be like, look, I mean, it's like the Viking Raiders bullshit. Look what you could, like, anything you can do, I can do better.
Yeah.
I'm more legit than you. Give me another shot.
Yeah, and then you gave like Lance Archer like the turkey leg. No, you're not going to do, because, see, we're going to, like, bullshit. Like, we can go through more bullshit, so don't do that. But not talking about bullshit, a really good match. SEU against FTR. This was changed because, of course, QT Marshall and Goldust, or, like, Dustin Rhodes, they were supposed to be the ones facing FTR. But, of course, like, COVID situations, like, they had to change it up. But it turned out to be a really good match.
Yep. I was gonna say that's already Ali screwing over the Nightmare Collective, or whatever the hell they're called.
The American Nightmares.
Yeah, whatever bullshit they are.
The American Nightmares. Yeah, like it's already bad. So this match.
I mean, but legit match. This is definitely match is better. it was better than what we would have got if it, no offense to Dusty, but it would would have been better. Or this was better than that match would have been.
It wasn't like it was just such a like great match because see this time we got to see like Christopher Daniels shine. He looked really good, execution of the move is extremely great. Kazarian like a little bit like not as great. I just want to say maybe he didn't have the same like I would say performance as regular. But hey, this time was Christopher Daniels' turn. It looked good, really good. And of course the Revival or FTR, extremely great. And of course Sharp the Machine and Dan. Sharp the Machine for the people at WWE. Or like the Good Night or the Goodbye Express.
Yeah. Which I'm like, why don't they just call it the Midnight Express and just have Jim Cornette manage them at this point?
That's well, and and Mr. Swinger, Mr. Swinger.
Yeah,
I'm
exactly.
talking to you, Cornette. I am talking to you, Mr. Swinger. He can be your manager. He doesn't hate. He says he likes it. Okay, there you go, Mr. Swinger. So like they get this stuff, but like the match itself, extremely awesome. But what happens after that was even more awesome because like the Butcher and the Blade showed up in a really big truck. He's like, hey guys, we're the Butcher and the Blade in case you guys don't remember who we are. And then right behind FTR and the Young Bucks, because the Young Bucks were already there too. I don't know why the Young Bucks are still there, but like you said, the tag team division is still a mess. We don't know who the faces are, who the heels are. But returning from Mexico on the Lucha Bros.
Yeah, I mean, yeah, and then it was legit because I'm like, oh, cool, we're seeing them. The Lucha Bros, they're like one of the few people who I really, enjoy on this show. And it's like, oh, okay, this is awesome. And then you really start thinking about it, and you're like, how awesome is it really going to be? They're in a tag team match against the Butcher with the Butcher and the Blade, going against the Young Bucks and FTR. It's like, okay, yeah, they might get the win, and then that will cause more friction between FTR and the Young Bucks. But it like their involvement doesn't mean anything. It's all just to further the Young Bucks and the FTR storyline.
Yeah.
Oh, and also FTR cuts
seems that's what it is.
And they cut a promo. Oh, Jim Ross, you thought we didn't have athleticism. You're bullshit. Everyone's bullshit. You're all good guys here. Well, there's some bad guys. We're the bad guys. And then you're instantly agreeing to a match to get teamed up with the baby faces. So I don't know how bad you can be, but wrestling.
Yeah, but like we're already telling you why though. The storyline is there's gonna be tension between those two, and then whoever, like, there's going to be some kind of friction, and then that's going to cause the match. And I'm telling you, the Butcher and the Blade and the Lucha Bros are going to be the ones winning. So we still don't know what, like, the real path.
But see, I feel like whichever team of them is going to win, or whichever, like, two teams win, they'll probably have those two teams go against each other. The winner will go against the Best Friends or Kenny and Hangman, and then they'll just lose. They'll just lose to either one of those babyface teams, and then it won't matter.
Yeah.
Because the main story is the Bucks and FTR, so.
That's the main story. That's what it's going to be. So, Jean-Paul, we go to Brian Cage and Joe Cruz. That's another one that was changed because John Moxley was exposed to somebody that had the COVID, and that's why, like, he's in quarantine right now, so he's able to make it. There's 2 weeks at least. 2 weeks is enough time for him to main event Fyre Fest on July 8th.
I wonder if, and then, this could be a stretch, but there are people in WWE who have exposure. I wonder if one of those people was Renee Young.
Maybe. Yeah, you never know. You never know. Like the hippo, you said hippo, right?
Hippo.
Yep. Now they're not supposed to like reveal who has it, so there you go. For that reason, but we had a pretty quick match with Cruz and Brian Cage, and pretty much, Taz was like pretty much selling this guy, like, and I like that how he sells like the moves, and he says, oh, like he's so intense, he executes the moves extremely well, and he causes so much damage in certain areas of the body. So that's really cool. And the drill claw and done.
And I mean, don't get me. I like Brian Cage. I think he's a hell of a wrestler. I mean, like I said, you bring him in with all this momentum, but the only thing, and this is just me, so I'm not gonna be like this is whatever. But like, all I can think about is like you lost to Tessa Blanchard. So it's like, and know if that's like not a knock against Tessa or anything, but it's like you come in and then it's supposed to be like, oh, you're the big bad guy, but it's like like you lost to Tessa.
And like for this kind of bill, I think that like he's gonna become the new AEW champion.
Yeah, I mean, I think he has to because how many times I can't think of another time in like WWE or anything where you're trying to build like how many big guys at once.
Yes.
You have Wardlow. You have Luchasaurus. Archer. And now Brian Cage, Hager. You have like 5. Brody, you have like 6, 7 big dudes, and you're trying to make them all dominant. That would be like having 6 Brock Lesnars. What the hell do you do with them all?
Yeah. Yeah,
you know, you
put him in a group in a stable. The Lesnars.
Yeah, you sign these guys, and it's like, you know, you can't make them all monsters because eventually they're going to clash, and then once a monster loses, he becomes bullshit.
Yeah, he becomes Big Show. No, the Big Show's fine. No, don't worry. But see, I absolutely agree with you, Jean Paul, and that. But the promo I really like that, you know, Taz is like, hey, where's John Moxley? You see him? Oh, Moxley's right there. He's right there. See, Mox, you know, we're gonna like destroy you. Like, you know, it's good that you're away. It was not really good because it's like if you would have been here, we would just destroy you. So good stuff. I really like the intensity from Taz. He's really good on the mic, and he's helping out Brian Cage on that. So like the whole build up to me is saying to me, Brian Cage is going to be the new AEW champion. Do I agree with it? Well, you just said it. You have so many big guys, and what is the point of bringing them to have a championship match, and then they're done?
He has to. Like Wardlow, it was okay to lose because it's like, you know, he's just MJF's bodyguard at the time, so it's like okay, whatever, you know. But Lance Archer losing, to me, I think he's still screwed over. You know, Luchasaurus is in a tag team, so it's okay if he loses. But what are you going to do if Brian Cage loses?
Yeah, and that's what I mean. You just become regular.
Yeah,
you become normal. So absolutely right with you. I absolutely agree.
He'll be wrestling on AEW Dark, and they'll be like, "Oh, you should have saw his match on Dark."
Which is their version of main event. You know, I'm sorry, but I will say it how it is. So, you know, Brody Lee and Colt Cabana, they also, like, wanted a match against SCU on Fyre Fest because they need, you know, it's a 2-night event, so they need matches. So they need at least 5-6 matches per night. So that's what they did. So that's what they get. And then, of course, now we're going to go to Britt Baker. She has, like, the plastic glass, like, you know, like the thing that, like, WWE has. And she's like, okay, Big Swole is not going to show up. But in the end, she shows up and she kind of, like, puts trash all over, like like Britt Baker. So I like the story where it's going. I like the fact that she's every single Dynamite there. I like that, like, at least because she's injured, of course, like they keep her there, and then her heel heat still increases. So that's
yeah, no, I agree, and I like the interaction. I don't know if she was like texting him or just yelling up to him, but I think it might have been later on in the night with Tony. He's like, you know, shut up. He's like, it's not us. We're calling the match. It's not our fault that Big Swole came over. He's like, you know, you have two people down next to you. Yell at them. Don't yell at me.
Yeah, no, I like that relationship with Tony Schiavone. Like, see, that adds, like, I love, for example, he's like, oh, doctor just texts me. I'm like, really? Like, are you the dog? You know?
Yeah.
I've been the dog before. I know how it feels.
Oh, yeah. You know, he's definitely the dog. He's definitely the dog.
So, you know, talking about dogs, let's talk about Mr. Matt Hardy, because we don't know if he's going to be the mask is. We don't know if it's going to be version 1.
Fans could vote on Twitter, I believe they said, to choose his gimmick. Like, we said enough. I don't even want to put it into words anymore.
Yeah, and he got a match against Santana. The match, I think that, like, nobody kind of was really paying attention.
No.
It was decent. It was, you know, but in the end, Matt Hardy gets the win. You know, and, like, he pretty much, like, you know, pinned Santana. But
it was like I think, I don't know what Santana hit, but then, he rolled him up. And as soon as he rolled him up, I'm like, okay, like I said, I knew Matt Hardy was going to get the win. He's going to get his ass beat down, and then Private Party's going to come out. And it's like...
Why? Because they're going to have a match.
Yeah, exactly. And what's the point of him managing Private Party? Yeah. I don't understand. Like, you know, it would have made sense if Sammy Guevara wouldn't have said bullshit fucking things, you know, and then got suspended indefinitely or for however long. So, you know, then the angle would have made sense because Guevara and Matt Hardy had an angle. But Guevara's gone. He's done.
He's suspended for the now. Or suspended for the now. He apologized. He says he's sorry. He's gonna supposedly like.
Well, we'll go into that on Saturday a little bit more. But I mean, he has no reason to be in this match. I don't know. Like, I don't know. Yeah, that's what I have to say about a lot of recent stuff that Dynamite's doing. It's just I don't know. I really don't know at this point.
They had to put, I guess, somebody in there, but like I said, like it didn't call anybody's attention. Like I said, Matt Hardy. The way that, like, they've been portraying him and the way that, like, he's been the one that, like, actually has been pitching a lot of ideas, I don't think is working out. I don't see anybody in, you know, in the wrestling, like, world or the media talking about how cool this could have been. I'm just saying, like, this turned out to be a missed opportunity for Matt Hardy and for AEW. Because it would, like we always said, if Impact would have been the one carry this whole thing, Matt Hardy would have been meaningful, would have been significant, would have been important. And unfortunately, in this situation, within the first 3 weeks, he became normal.
Done. Him, done. Brody Lee, done. All these guys they bring in, done. I'm not saying that they would, you know, have more, you know, maybe personal happiness if they were with WWE, but it's like you know, you didn't create a better image for yourself by going to AEW. I don't think.
So, you know, Jean-Paul, the face-off, Jericho and Orange Cassidy. Pretty simple. Jericho said, I hate all the stuff that you do. I'm not a fan of you. I'm not a fan of your matches. I'm not a fan of your gimmick. I think you're just a jerk-off. I think you're just an idiot. I don't like what you do. Please don't be doing the thing that you kick and then the thing that you put your, like, freaking, you know, hands on your pockets. What does Orange Cassidy do? He grabs the mic. He's about to talk. He's about to speak. And then, boom, he does the same gimmick, and then they go at it. Absolutely, like they go all over the ring. You know, they go on the outside. And Jericho
I did like Jericho's shot where he's like, "I respect you though for the one thing." He's like, "You got yourself over when he's like, you weren't supposed to get over," which of course was a dig at WWE, but I mean, to me, I thought it was legit because there's a bunch of guys who should have been over who weren't because WWE
and of course Cassidy's awesome. You know, first they squeeze, you know, that's awesome, and like I said, they went at it. They had a really good like interaction between each other. Like I said, he got busted open, and actually he laid down Le Champion.
Yeah,
he laid him out, and then he stood tall. Orange Cassidy was the one that, like, when the show went off the air, Orange Cassidy was like, oh, you know, hands in his pockets and like, So he put the Le Champion down, but you know what's gonna happen at Fyre Fest.
Judas effect and done.
Yeah, I didn't, and not even like, you know, Kari saying, Cien Almas. Hit that better. You know, I love the champion. You know, I'm probably. I think
you know those twitches in your sleep where you're like, ugh. I think those are better than the Judas effect.
Well, there you go. So that should be my finisher because I got that twitch. You know, like after a bad day of Monday Night Raw, but that's fine. It's all good, guys. So that pretty much closed the show. Was it a good Dynamite? I think it was decent, but like Jean Paul is saying, you know, there's a little things that need to be tweaked. Like I said, I
think Dynamite was better when, you know, 6-7 months ago, and at this point you can't. At this point you can't blame COVID. At this point you can't. I mean, okay, Moxley wasn't here, but you put Moxley on the show. Would it have been better? No. You put, you know, and if QT Marshall and Dustin wrestled instead of SCU, would it have been better? No. So you know, you can't blame COVID. You can't blame any of that. I just think that there's too many cooks in the kitchen, or you have the wrong blonde-haired, neck-tattooed cook in the kitchen, and he doesn't know how to fucking bake toast or boil water. So,
there you go. Like I said, like everybody has their opinion, you know. So, like I think that my big thing is just like the way they booked Fyre Fest was not good. Like he said, supposed to be 4 championships that are going to be on the line. Should have been 2 and 2. That way you keep both nights interesting and fresh. That's all I gotta say. Thank you so very much, family, for watching. Where they can find us in the social media world.
Oh, you can find us on Twitter, the OG Rope Break, or you can find us on Facebook, Instagram, and, of course, YouTube for the best podcast in the whole wrestling community. You can find us on those 3 sites at the original Rope Break.
Meat and potatoes right there for you, family. You and I have one more thing that is left to say, besides saying that NXT comes out tomorrow. So you and me...